Oh, DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it's been a long time since I made a video using my computer camera. I don't know, I just always tend to use something else. I thought I'd do a little tag. Yeah, so I think it was from Dave Nicholson's Broken Moose page, but it's a Jasmine tag. So let me see, there's just a few questions though. So one of them is, what do you value most in friendship? Well, friendship, that's a good question, isn't it? Because are there things that one should value more or less over time? I mean, well, when we were kids, I think that we valued almost exclusivity. Yeah, they're my best friends forever, and always together, and things like that. Now I think I kind of value steadfastness, honesty, um, faithfulness in a way, uh, there when I need you, somebody to talk to. Yeah, I think, um, another thing about I value in a friend is somebody that can say things as they are. What I mean by that is that, if something needs to be said, okay, that was just a mail coming in. If something needs to be said, you can say it to them, and vice versa. They will tell it to you. Yeah, yeah, that's about it, I guess. I think it's core values, finding them in the person, and even if it's somebody you need to talk to about accountability or subjects that you really need somebody else to touch on. And the other thing I think is, which I value in a friend, is somebody who's able to listen, not just hear, listen. Yeah, so communication, honesty, steadfastness, and holding out. Like sometimes you might have a rough patch where you're not the person you were, or vice versa, and you hold on to the person. Yeah, something like that. I guess so. I think I've talked enough about that. Let me see. Have you ever had an annoying friend? I guess actually there are sort of traits in friends that can be annoying. I have a few friends that tend to know it all. You know, they pretty have all the characteristics that I just mentioned before, but they do tend to be a little bit know-it-all. Um, one friend tends to, I guess, has a slight superiority complex, and loves to to think that he knows better. Not always knows better than me, but knows better than the general world. I have another friend who's oh goodness, he's a bit of a liberal. I'm more conservative, and likes to give lessons all the time, and teaches people, way it should be. He's the person, who'll see, if he sees somebody with a bicycle, which puts his bicycle somewhere, anywhere, will walk away from the restaurant and go onto the street and tell the person, things like that, teacher type, this type of thing. Yeah, I guess those are annoying traits. When I was a kid, one of the annoying traits of some of my friends had, were to be to follow the wind, if I could put it that way. What was the latest fad, or how should one be, maybe politically or something, and following the crowd and so on. Yeah, is that annoying? It is, I guess. Okay, what's the next one here? Any words that annoy you that you just can't stand hearing? I think one of the lately, there's a few right now, but one is woke. I abhor that word. I am woke. I just don't want to hear it. I mean, it is just part of a way of thinking, again, condescending and so on. You know, people have been enlightened way before the word woke came into being. You know, I just cannot stand that word. Cancel culture is probably one of the other ones. Oh, geez. But woke, yeah, those two. At least that's my pet peeves right now. Yeah. Let me see. Have you tried to find old classmates? Well, when Facebook started, that's quite a few years ago now, isn't it? Yeah, I did try a few. And the few that I found was like, oh no, not them. And we didn't keep much in touch. I send off, some of you know that, I mean, I send off a yearly Christmas letter. And at one point, you know, I had managed to find, actually, yes, I had tried to find old classmates by, you know, internet mails and things like that, and had managed to recover quite a few, and none of them responded, or very, 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 and I could add on a few more, very rarely. So I at one point I said, you know, on that, in one of the letters I said, you know, if people don't respond that they want to get this letter, bingo, it's gone. And nobody responded. Well, I mean, it's a few people, but none of those past friends. And some of them came back a few years later and, like, you know, said, yeah, I remember when you would send out your letters and so on, and it would be really nice to meet up and so on. And I thought, like, yeah, sure, yeah. But, yeah, a few. The last time, and that was a bit sad though, that I did try and find an old friend was the guy that was my best friend. I talked about him actually in a vlog not that long ago. Was my best friend in grade school, the first kid I met, and he was handicapped. His two hands were like that, very short and like that. And he's the one I told you that his nickname, really horrible nickname, was Skippy, like Skippy the kangaroo, because his hands were just like that. And his legs were really, really strong. He was a great soccer player, so football over here. And I looked him up. I tried to look him up at one point and couldn't find him. And since we had moved away and now I was in Europe, and I knew that he had gone off to, be, I'm not sure if he was an engineer at one point. I don't remember exactly what, because I lost touch. And one of my aunts that still lives in our hometown, I still call it my hometown, one of my aunts said, yeah, he's come back. He's taken early retirement. Okay, that was a few years back. And to make the long story short again, is I looked him up about a couple months ago to find that he died. Sudden death. I was a bit sad because I was like looking forward to one of the now that I knew that he had come back to the hometown, and he was living in his parents. Well, I mean, his parents were passed on, but I mean he was actually taken over the old family home, so I knew where he was. And I thought, like, I'll be able to catch up with him. And he's gone. Okay, so that's one of the answers. And it almost leads into the last one. Do you spend much time thinking about the past? Yeah, I do. I just did right now, and I do tend to do that. Yeah, a lot. I think, you know, now looking back, I love the way our childhood was. I really think that living in the town we were was a blessing at that age. Yes, we had to move on for various reasons, which I won't get into now because it would be way too long. They're not a secret, but it would be way too long. But it's always remained my hometown. Where we moved, I've never became, I mean, of course, as an adult, you have your places, like here is now our place. But my hometown as a kid is still, like where I was. It's where my ancestors were up to a point. And the village next to where I was brought up, where I was born, that's where my grandparents are. And I don't know, there's just something that's where the roots are. Sadly, like where my dad is resting now, it's a nice place, but it'll never be my town. What can I say? Yeah. So is that about it? I guess it is. I mean, I like to talk about the past. I like to reminisce. I'm a rather nostalgic person. I guess I am. Looking to the future, does it make me scared? Well, yes and no. I mean, it's not the fact of aging so much that I think that, it's just that, yeah, maybe it is aging, I guess, but I guess it's just the thing is that right now, you see like, okay, there were some really nice things in the past, which I really enjoyed, and which I'll probably never be able to show the grandkids in the same way, because we don't actually live in the same country anymore, but there'll be other things. But am I looking towards the future? You see, that's maybe another thing. I'm trying not to live into the past completely, because I've got a whole future ahead of me, and I've got kids, grandkids, and so on. So it's nice to look towards the future, but to bring the past to the future, again, I don't want to cancel things out. Yeah. Okay, I think I've said enough. So that'll be DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and yeah, this was a fun tag. Thank you, Dave, or thank you, Jasmine. Once again, I really enjoyed it. Okay, already 12 minutes.